7th day of June 2018, beginning of broadcast day on the great Sirius XM 82. Yours truly, of course, Christopher Russo on Mad Dog Unleashed with our crew behind the scenes, Eddie Erickson, Colin Schmeling and Company. 888 Mad Dog 6 is your two-way sports talk telephone number on this late Thursday afternoon here in early June as we chat to you about what's cooking. World of sports. Lots of Belmont today. We'll do a little hockey later on today. We'll spend some time on the NBA a little later on today. And, of course, we'll get into the baseball to a degree as well. A lot of folks. Chris Mara today amongst your guests. He's joined us throughout this. Joe Drape today. We'll get Randy Moss today. So we'll get you plenty of horse racing. We'll do a little tennis today, too. These finals, the semis and the finals have been set up as far as the French Open is concerned. We'll get into that. They might have a busy weekend in Paris. All right, let's start now with the theme that I've had. I'll tell you, you know what? This is why they're great. Sometimes it's Stephen Curry's team, and sometimes it's Kevin Durant's team. And when you have two guys that on a game-by-game basis, you can claim that it is his team, that gives you and then you got Thompson sitting there as sort of a wingman to either one of them. That puts you in a unbelievable scenario as far as greatness is concerned. I mean, even Jordan would never say that it was Pippen's team, you know? I mean, okay, Shaq and Kobe occasionally, I'll buy that. But most of the time, you know, it's the one guy, Bird, of course, had a lot of great players around him, but it was Bird's team. This guy and this team, Golden State's got both guys. And one day it's Curry making 9 threes and harrying them against Houston in Game 7. And then the next day it's Durant, whether it's, scoring 45 points or, as he did last year in Game 3 when he made that great shot and had that great comeback, or last night when he was just superb and carried Golden State on his back when nobody else on that team did anything, including Curry and Thompson, on his 43 wins Game 3 of the NBA Final. And now, of course, they coast with the W last night at 110-102. I mean, so right now, Golden State has got two go-to guys. So, and that's what you'd expect. And those are two big time, let's face it. Curry, he's got some flaws. When he doesn't make his threes, the game is ugly. He's not good defensively, but he's an unbelievable shooter, and he's a great ball handler, and he's a good passer. And he's not afraid. And then you have Durant, who, let's face it, is better than Nowitzki, as Tom Moore, the guy who ran Quinnipiac into the ground, has told me 1,000 times. And he's so lengthy, and he's such a great shooter that, in fact, you can't guard him. As the Cavaliers are learning here throughout this championship series, and of course how they learned last year. Now, he was not good in Game 1. I had the most unimpressive 26 points in the history of the NBA Final. He shot horrifically, a lot of bad shots. As Kevin Lockery told us yesterday, when he gets a scenario going where he dribbles, and shoots, he's just not the same player. Kevin mentioned the fact that Kerr made an adjustment, really got him more of a post-up scenario where, it was J.R. Smith or whoever was trying to guard him, and away you go. If it's Love, he drives past him. If it's J.R. Smith or, Rodney Hood or George Hill, he shoots over him. So he's in a tremendous scenario, and his last two games have been incredibly efficient. I mean, he had whatever he had on Sunday night. He took 14 shots and scored in the mid-20s, and then last night, I don't know how many shots he took, but it weren't that many. I think it was 24, maybe 22, and he scores 43 points and makes every big shot known to man and does his thing. All right, Curry made a play or two late, and he made a basket late. I'll buy that. But, nothing Cleveland did last night you can knock him for. All right, LeBron did not play well. Missed layups. He didn't play as well as we have seen him, but nothing. They got a big plus out of Rodney Hood. JR played much better. Love played well in his series, did a good job. So they got what they needed. All right, Korver did nothing. I understand that. George Hill didn't do a lot. I understand that. But they got something out of JR. They got a good game out of Love, and they got a big game out of Hood. And so that compensates a little bit for sort of a so-so game for LeBron, and that so-so game is 33 points. And as a result, Cleveland, you score 102 points. I mean, that should give you an opportunity maybe at home to figure out a way to win the game. I mean, remember, although I always say you got to outscore Golden State, you can beat them in that level. I mean, Houston did it twice in games in 4 and 5 where they won 95-92 and 98-94. So you can win a game in that high 90s, low 100 level, and that's what Golden State tried. That's what the Cavaliers tried to do last night. But Durant wouldn't let him do it. Wouldn't let that team do it to him. So, or his team, and so away he goes. Just listen, there's just too much firepower. I mean, if they have one of those three guys play that great against a team that is, now I'm not sure if that would have been good enough against Houston. All right, this team's not great. Houston's better than the Cavaliers are, but it's good enough against the Cavs up 2-0 with a game to work with in an NBA final. And his performance last night was superlative. So one night it's Curry, the next night it's him. They kind of rotate whose team it is on a day-in, day-out basis. And, last night it was Durant's turn to put his team on the back. And then, of course, the 9 threes in Game 2. It was Curry's turn. And the third quarter of Game 7 at the Toyota Center, it was Curry's turn. Then you throw in Thompson when he wants to make a contribution. Draymond Green does what he does. And that team, and they got a little Iguodala last night. It's a hard team to beat. They had a big dunk Iguodala on a huge basket after a big three-point shot by the Cavs. And, of course, right now this NBA season is over. Now, I do think that the Cavaliers will go out there and they will play well on Friday night. I don't think LeBron wants to get swept. He's got a lot of pride for that. They did win Game 4 last year. I don't think LeBron, if he leaves Cleveland, and chances are he might, with this talent level, if he leaves Cleveland, he probably would not like to leave off a 4-game sweep. And I think the Cavaliers will go up with their boots up tomorrow. I also think Golden State learned from a year ago when they lost Game 4, and I think they would love to sweep LeBron and win 4 in a row in the final and go 8-1 in 2 finals. So I would think that the Warriors would play pretty well tomorrow, unlike last year when they got a little sloppy, a little careless, and they got 3'd upon by both Kyrie and LeBron and lost badly in the 4th game. So we see what the gods bring us there on Friday night. But regardless, the NBA season is over. I mean, Cleveland, basically Cleveland's going to spare a lot of Golden State could spare a lot of reporters and a lot of media guys a lot of hassle by not making them fly back to Golden State for the weekend and waste the June weekend knowing that the season is over because they're not going to lose Game 5 at home. There's a reason why nobody in the history of the NBA has ever come back from 3-0 down and win a series. And, there's not too many examples of teams coming down from 3-0 even winning a game. I know Seattle did it against the Bulls that one time, but remember they had games 4 and 5 at home when they were down 3-0 and they won both games to make it 3-2. They only have one game at home, the Cavaliers, and then they got to play in Golden State. That's the difference with the 2-2-1-1-1 format compared to 2-3-2. I mean, if you play the 2-2-1-1 format, it's hard if you're down 3-0 to win 2 games. If you play the 2-3 format and you're somehow down 3-0, you can win 2 games because both games are in your place. So we shall see tomorrow night. Again, Golden State doing everybody a lot of favors if they spare a lot of mileage and spare a lot of expenses by going out there tomorrow night and beating the Cavs and winning this series in 4 straight games. And the theme tomorrow night to me, it's pretty easy. The theme tomorrow night to me is going to be, how LeBron handles this when the game is concluded. I mean, does he just walk off the court with no wave, with no, sort of embrace with the 20,000 in the building? Or, I mean, does he go out there and basically kiss them goodbye and, cry on the court saying, telling us down deep that this is it? I mean, I think that's the most interesting aspect of the game tomorrow night is the LeBron scenario when the game is over, last 5, especially, and if they're ever losing badly and he's out in the last 5 minutes, his scenario there. How he handles those last 5 minutes might give us some clues to July. You saw some things a long time ago in Boston. His body language was bad in Game 6. You had a sense that maybe he's going to do something, and he ended up in Miami. He indicated after they lost to San Antonio when a member of the Heat, you thought maybe that he was going to question whether he wanted to go back to Miami in his postgame. We'll see what he does. But remember, that was Miami. It's not quite the same home deal for him as Cleveland is. So that will be the interesting aspect of the 4th game tomorrow, is LeBron's mood in the beginning, in the middle, at the end, and at the conclusion. That's the 4th game scenario. We'll come back to a couple of things on the NBA and then get your calls in here on Mad Dog Unleashed.